Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Amateur Powerscaling, a series where I see just how strong some of my favorite characters are. In this video, I'll be analyzing Scott Pilgrim. In the lands of Toronto, Canada, Scott Pilgrim is dating a high schooler. Now, who is Scott Pilgrim? Scott is a nerdy 20-year-old man who's living off his gay roommate Wallace Wells' salary. So, in other words, he's kind of a bum. And not just that, he's an asshole. Well, not on purpose, but still, he could be pretty dismissive, rude, and even he just makes tons of bad decisions. Speaking of which, his new girlfriend, Knife Chow. Knives was head over heels for Scott, but Scott really wasn't into the relationship and was using her more as a rebound. Sure, he kind of cared about her, but more in a way like a friend, but not in a romantic way, which is good, but also kind of bad at the same time. I mean, he still says he's dating her, so. But this is definitely true that he didn't care about Chow, because when a new girl arrived in his head, I mean not literally, he fell head over heels for her. This girl was Ramona Flowers, who traveled through Scott's head because it conveniently contained a subspace highway, which is like a mindscape that works as quick travel. Anyways, Scott immediately was head over heels for her. So when he spotted her at a party, he had to pull up with his best pickup line.
You know Sonic the Hedgehog?
So as you can guess, that didn't go very well. But after another attempt, they actually hit it off pretty well. Just one tiny little problem. Ramona has a bit of a rough past, as in she dated 7 people who ended up hating her. Some of them had good reasons to hate her, others did not. Either way, in order to date Ramona, Scott had to fight and defeat her 7 evil exes, and Scott was well equipped for the task. He's defeated hordes of enemies, beaten robots made by the Katayanaga twins, I probably butchered that, I'm sorry, and more. He's also pretty damn durable, surviving being in the middle of a store imploding on itself. This explosion was worth 11 tons of TNT, and Scott just kind of shook it off. He also fought Todd Ingram, who has put 2 holes in the moon with his vegan powers. And this would require an energy output of around 7.5 petatons of TNT. Now, in most incarnations, Scott tricks Todd instead of actually fighting him, except in the games where he 1v1s him and wins, beating Scott Pilgrim of all people is multi-continental level. Power scaling is so stupid and I love it. He's also kept up with Lucas Lee and Roxy, who in the anime dodge camera flashes. This would be around like the lower end of light speed, I think. But, anyways, throughout these fights, Scott realized something about himself. He was an asshole, and he tried to fix that. He makes sure that his relationship with Ramona ended up better than her previous ones and his previous ones, and he tried to make amends with people he's hurt. While his attempts weren't always the best when trying to do better, he still was trying. And he did make some amends. He also gained a trusty sword from promising Ramona that he loves her and will be there for her. This sword is called the Power of Love, and when first equipped, it heals Scott. He also did the scariest thing of all and got a job. But Scott's biggest revelations about himself was when he and Ramona fought the final evil X, Getting Graves. Now, Getting Graves is full on evil. He's kidnapped people, he manipulated Ramona and put a literal thing in her head so that he could continue manipulating her. And he's just a general asshole. And Scott saw part of himself in Gideon and truly realized that, yeah, he was an asshole and rude and dismissive. And while he didn't mean it, he would go down a path if he kept this up that would lead him to end up like Gideon. And this is when Scott really tries to just better, realizes that he needs to better himself and just be a better person. And after that, he gains another sword called the Power of Understanding, which gives Scott a stat boost. So then him and Ramona beat the ever living shit out of Gideon, and then they try to be better, and they supposedly live happily ever after. Maybe. So, to answer the title of this video, is Scott Pilgrim a bum? He started out as one, but changed and worked to become a better person, which kind of makes you goated if you think about it. But that's not important. Who cares about the story? Where does this guy scale? Well, Scott Pilgrim, specifically composite Scott, is multi-continental in attack and potency strength for fighting and enduring attacks from Todd Ingram, and his speed is around the speed of light for being able to keep up and even like stop Lucas Lee and Roxy like mid dash and dodge and stuff. Anyways, that's it for this video. Although I will say this one was more narrative focused, and I kind of want to keep doing that alongside the power scaling stuff because that's why I like these characters, their stories. Uh, but we'll see. Anyways, bye and see you next time.